Okay, in this segment, we're going to discuss how to reset the interviews spreadsheet. Again, you can open up to the onboarding spreadsheet, which is what you see in front of you, or you can open up to the interview spreadsheet. In this case, obviously, I open up to the onboarding spreadsheet, which is obviously blank at this particular time. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the interviews automated button. Now you can see that we're at the interview schedule. Now, obviously it's been populated only for this tutorial, and the information that you see here is all made up. None of it is real, so don't be alarmed. What we're going to do now is we're going to reset this particular page to be blank, and we're going to start from scratch with a blank spreadsheet. Now, how you go about or what your timing is for resetting a spreadsheet is solely up to you. The spreadsheet can go as far down as 200 people or more. You can add lines or add rows, by clicking in the day column and clicking add row. Make sure that when you add a row that you're adding a row in a row, starting with a row that's blank, that's not in use, and click add, and you can add additional rows. Okay, and you can add as many rows as you need by simply clicking add row, but you want to start by positioning your mouse in the day column, not in the standard way that you see here where you're positioning your mouse on the number. You're going to actually position your mouse in the day column and then click add row, and again the row must be blank, not a row that's currently in use. Now, you'll see that before I had, I think, about 99 rows. Now you see that I have 111 rows. So you can certainly add rows that way. I would advise that you at some point reset the spreadsheet as opposed to simply adding 1,000 rows or 500 rows. So the sooner you reset it, the better, because you're not having to scroll throughout hundreds and hundreds of rows to get to whatever information you're looking for. That being said, we're going to go ahead and proceed with how to reset this particular spreadsheet and go from there. Now, clearly you do not want to lose the data that you have been working with. We want to save this to an archive. It's not the same archive as with the new hires that attended orientation. This is everyone. It includes the people that we moved over to approve, as well as the people that were rejected, as well as the people that never showed, as well as the people that you may include that were never invited for an interview. The drop-down box will allow you to select any of those areas. For instance, you can put people that weren't invited on the spreadsheet, or you can go straight to send them straight to the archives, which will be in a future segment. You can use the drop down to input the people that no showed, as well as the people that were sent the turn down letter or not eligible for whatever reason. All of this will be in the same drop down box, and as well, it will be in the same drop down box with the positions offered. So, and you can use that information for later use. Now, let's go and start resetting the page. Here, you want to again save all the information, all the data to the archives first. So you're going to go to the archives. I played with this earlier, which is why you see this information here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it. It's the same information that you saw earlier. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to just check this page just to see what's there, just as a quick overview. And you're going to go ahead now and you're going to hit save the current content. Now when you hit that, you'll notice that it didn't disappear here. However, it was moved over to here. Now the reason why I have it set to do that is because it's just as a precaution. You want to make sure that you have what you need before you delete this content here. Once you do that, you can go ahead now and reset the page. By resetting the page, basically you still have this information here to refer to. Now, what happens in most cases is that when you reset the page, there are people that you would like to return back because you have yet to hear from the background check or to hear from them. They may still be people there that you want to move over to the onboarding spreadsheet in a future date. However, you haven't moved them over as of this particular date. So what you want to do now is position your mouse on the correct row, which is usually the top row, and you're going to go back to the save content, and you can position your mouse on the person that you would like to return, or persons that you would like to return back to the interview spreadsheet. And I'm going to just say we're going to start with Dave Robinson. We're going to return Dave Robinson and Sandra Hart back to the interview spreadsheet. You're going to position on the day, in this particular case, not the person's name, but when you're dealing with the spreadsheet, everything when it comes to resetting it, it deals with the day of the interview, not the actual person's name. So remember that. Now you're going to click Return Content, and it will be positioned exactly the way it was in the save content, with that space in the middle to separate the days. Now, it's going to be up to you how you do this. If you don't want a space in between the days, you don't have to. I like to do it just for organizational purposes. It helps me to separate the days or see the separation much easier, but clearly you don't have to. So that being said, just be very mindful that you have that option. One thing that I didn't mention earlier, that once you move these people or the candidates over to the pending spreadsheet, they're no longer functional on this particular sheet. For instance, I'm going to move Dave Robinson over to orientation, just as an example. Again, we're going to come over and make sure that the mouse is presented in the correct cell or row. Go back to the interviews page, and we're going to move Dave Robinson over to orientation. Now, what you can't see here, or maybe you can, there's no drop down arrow. Therefore, we can no longer type anything in this row. We can no longer change the status or change the position from the interview page. However, you can change it over here in the orientation. So you can always come and make the changes once you move that person over, but you can't make it in the interviews page anymore at this particular time. All right, so just remember that. And that is it on how to reset the interviews page. Thank you.